place because we are talking all things weight loss.
Yes.
So we were talking about plateaus just before.
Yeah, that's right. So, for example, I suppose the most common thing that I would do would be sort of liver and gut cleanse simultaneously. So there are products out there that, because the liver and kidneys are the last two detox organs of the body. So it sort of starts with the gut and the immune system, and then the liver, and then the kidneys. So by the time we are not eliminating things, you can imagine all the detox organs are just struggling. They're just struggling. And then, because we still haven't run. I was so happy the other day. We'd nearly run out of all our Christmas, New Year food from the little get-togethers we'd had at our place. Now we have more visitors at home. Hello, Erica and Jason. And now we have a whole bunch of new food in the house. And it's like, oh no, it was nearly gone. So, it's just having it there, isn't it? Sometimes it's a problem. But anyway.
That's it, whole can't take my eyes off it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't matter how healthy you are. You could be very, very fit, very healthy, very self-conscious about your lifestyle.
Yes.
You can still build up toxins. You can
Absolutely.
So
no, definitely. Like they've even done studies on brand new babies, and poor little brand new babies. The studies show that there's usually at least 200 chemicals in that umbilical cord blood when they're being born these days. And some of these chemicals have been outlawed for decades. So pesticides that just aren't even we don't even buy them anymore, but it's in the soil, it's in the food, it's, so these things are just everywhere.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily what you're consuming, it's environmental factors as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and when you're stressed, you tend to dump a lot of all your good nutrients and store the toxins. I don't get that. Stress
makes everything so much worse because when you're stressed, your gut shuts down. So, when you're stressed, you don't have that much of an appetite, or you eat like a crazy person, but that's not real hunger. That's emotional hunger. So there's a big difference between a true hunger where you're going, yeah, that avocado tomato salad looks fantastic, or, yeah, I'm hungry and I eat a whole packet of Tim Tams. They're two different things. So I just sort of, going back about 10 years ago when the GFC hit, we went from 10 team members to 4 in a period of 4 months because it just collapsed our business. So it was just hideous, and it was expensive and horrible and dreadful time. But in that time, I was actually doing bioimpedance screenings on myself regularly. I don't know why. Maybe I was trying to lose weight, and of course nothing was happening because the stress was so bad at the time. And I remember one week when we'd had to sack 3 practitioners in 1 week because we were bleeding so much money out of the clinic. So it was a horrendous week. I lost 2 kilos of muscle mass that week.
Purely from stress.
I didn't lose weight because the fat mass went up and the fluid went up.
Yeah.
So I was just in a heightened state of inflammation, and the inflammation eats away your muscle mass. Now, the less muscle mass you have and the more fat mass you have to add those together. So if you're under muscle mass by 2, 3, 4, 5 kilos, you have to add that on to the number of extra kilos of fat because it's that combination that messes with your metabolism.
Yeah.
When we yo-yo diet, lots of yo-yo diets out there, quite often those yo-yo diets will actually eat away at our muscle mass.
Is that because sometimes they will actually not eat and then the body will eat away the nutrients it needs?
But it also depends on the stupid yo-yo diet. Remember that one a few years ago that was like, it was the maple syrup and lemon juice thing?
Oh wow, no, I didn't hear that.
Well, it had so much sugar in it. Like I remember sort of checking it out one day and people were losing lots of weight, they claimed. But I sort of walked past a chemist one day, they had something in this detoxy thing and I checked it out and I thought, that's just stupid. So sugar makes us acidic, acidity increases inflammation, inflammation eats our muscle mass. So the more inflamed we are, the more likely our body is to create fat to store the toxins. So it's creating fat to store the inflammatory hormones, creating fat to store the stress hormones, creating fat to store that acidity. So our, fat is a really powerful insulator. It can store a lot of toxins. So even if you lose 1 kilo in a week because you get out there and you walk 10 Ks a day, that 1 kilo, you've got 1 kilo of toxins you're having to move through your body. So if you're not keeping up your water and your, all of the things to make sure you're flushing these toxins out of your body, they're going to store somewhere else.
Yeah, and you're going to take it and put it somewhere else because you're not keeping up those fluids.
Yeah, and I actually had a guy in this week with chronic fatigue, and he did some sort of weight loss. Oh, that's right, because he happened to mention that he'd been 20 kilos heavier a few years ago, and now he's got chronic fatigue. And I said, well, how did you lose weight? And he told me, And I said, oh, okay, did you detoxify at the same time? And he said, well, it is a detox. And I said, no, it's not. I said, it's moving a lot of fat, but it's not because it was a particular type of weight loss called HCG, which I've been doing for 10 years in my clinic. So I know it very, very well. So HCG is the pregnancy hormone?
Yeah, I was just going to say, a lot of people are probably thinking HCG, that's
Yes,
pregnancy.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
why you pee on a stick and it becomes
Yeah.
either blue or pink. That's right. Or green if it's a frog. But yeah, so it's sort of so HCG works brilliantly, but we rarely do it without detoxing people simultaneously, especially if they've got a lot of excess to move.
Yeah,
You know?
and it is hard when you've got access to move. It's not just the physical movements.
Oh,
it's
no.
the motivation.
And
I
the
mean,
emotional.
I-
Emotionally,
yeah.
we've put on weight for a million reasons.
But you know what, when it comes to weight loss, it shouldn't be any mountain high enough. Here's Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Ain't no mountain high enough. It's Bay FM 100.3.